Lego. Just the name conjures up a world of imagination built brick by brick. Those colorful bricks, creativity in a box. We remember the satisfying click as two pieces joined, the endless potential held within. We built castles, towering fortresses of our own design, spaceships ready to explore the furthest reaches of our imaginations, or maybe a wobbly dog, a charmingly imperfect creation, a testament to the simple joy of building. It felt like pure joy, unadulterated, boundless, the kind of joy that only comes from creating something with your own two hands. But nostalgia paints a rosy picture, often obscuring the complexities and uncomfortable truths that lie beneath the surface. Lego was more than a toy. It was an experience, a rite of passage. It was a promise of fun and ingenuity, a belief in the power of play to shape young minds and inspire creativity. But like some Lego structures, promises can break. The perfect tower crumbles, the spaceship crashes, and the illusion fades. But behind the wholesome image, behind the carefully crafted marketing campaigns, there's another story. A narrative that challenges our perceptions and forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. Someone else faced a nightmare, a stark contrast to the idyllic world of Lego play. The real-world implications? The hidden costs behind the plastic bricks we so fondly remember? It's time to look past the bright colors, the cheerful facades, and the carefully constructed image. It's time to delve deeper, to uncover the truth behind the bricks. Let's see what's really holding Lego together. What are the foundations upon which this empire of plastic is built? The truth can be uncomfortable, even ugly, but it's a truth we need to face. Where do these magical bricks come from? Not a Danish elf workshop, think global supply chains. Lego's components are made in places like China, Hungary, and Mexico. Outsourcing isn't evil, but it often means cheaper labor and looser regulations. The toy industry has a checkered past, and Lego isn't always the exception. Labor rights groups have reported long hours, low pay, and immense pressure in toy factories. Imagine assembling tiny pieces for 12 hours a day, barely scraping by. Lego claims ethical production and supplier codes of conduct. But how strictly are these enforced, especially with third-party factories far away? It's easy to write a policy, harder to ensure every brick is made fairly. And that's a big, interlocking if. Let's talk about the people making these toys. Stories from workers in the toy sector are chilling. Long hours, cramped dorms, punishing shifts. Mandatory overtime, hazardous materials, fear of speaking out. Reports show 11-hour days, 6 days a week, especially during peak season. These aren't conditions for joyful play, they breed desperation. Lego audits suppliers and claims improvements, but outsourcing to low-cost regions always carries risks. Responsible sourcing sounds good, but what does it mean on the factory floor? Every brick is a story of global economics, labor, and sometimes exploitation. The joy of building shouldn't come at the expense of someone's rights. It's a simple principle, one that big companies sometimes forget. Now let's talk plastic. It's everywhere, isn't it? In our homes, our cars, our food packaging. But what about our toys? Lego, the iconic toy loved by generations, is made of ABS plastic, a specific type of plastic chosen for its unique properties. It's durable, colorful, and nearly indestructible. This is great for building, but not so great for the environment. Think about it. Every Lego brick since the 1950s still exists somewhere. In a toy bin, a landfill, or maybe even the ocean, unless incinerated, which of course causes other problems, releasing harmful toxins into the atmosphere. Scientists estimate a Lego brick could survive in the ocean for 1,300 years. That's longer than most empires last. That's quite a legacy of plastic that will outlive us all, and our great-grandkids. Lego produces tens of billions of bricks per year, a staggering number that's hard to even comprehend. That translates to an incredible amount of new plastic entering the world every single year. Sure, they encourage reuse, and they even have some recycling programs in place. But let's be real, pieces get lost, under couches, in gardens, sets break, get dismantled, or simply become unwanted as kids grow older, and many, far too many, end up in landfills or even worse, our oceans. Marine animals can't tell a brick from food. They ingest these colorful blocks, mistaking them for something edible with devastating consequences. Lego acknowledges the issue, they have to, and talks about reducing their footprint, implementing sustainable practices, and exploring alternative materials. But their core business is still selling new plastic things, lots and lots of them, filling shelves and warehouses around the globe. You simply can't be a massive plastic producer on this scale, and simultaneously claim to be a true sustainability champion. It's a difficult balance, to say the least. It's a fundamental contradiction, a conflict of interest at its very heart. It's like an oil company sponsoring a solar panel conference while continuing to drill for oil and contribute to climate change. Nice gesture, a well-intentioned effort perhaps, but we see what's really happening behind the curtain, the bigger picture that tells a different story. Billions of bricks, endlessly produced, endlessly consumed, endlessly contributing to the plastic problem. And ultimately, the planet pays the price for our insatiable appetite for these little plastic bricks. So, what's Lego doing about all this plastic? They've promised sustainable bricks by 2030. Sounds good, but progress is slow, painfully slow. They introduced some plant-based pieces from sugarcane, but it's just 1 to 2% of their output. It's more a green fig leaf than a revolution. Most Lego is still oil-based ABS. In 2023, they scaled back plans for recycled PET plastic, citing a higher carbon footprint. Finding a sustainable, durable alternative is hard. But Lego has the resources. The 2030 goal is looming, but will they make it? Corporate eco-promises often end with a new marketing campaign, not real change. Meanwhile, ABS bricks keep piling up. In oceans, in soil, a colorful, non-biodegradable monument to our consumption. Thanks, Lego, for the memories and the microplastics, the world's most persistent toy. Let's talk about how Lego protects its empire. With a very serious legal department. They aggressively go after clone brands and anything resembling their bricks. Protecting designs is fair, but sometimes the legal battles get blurry and aggressive. They target not just big competitors, but also small companies making compatible toys. The message: this is our turf. Lego dominates the construction toy world, and their legal might can feel like Goliath stomping on David. Is it about IP protection or stifling competition? Even fan sites and custom creators can get caught in the crossfire. Picture a team of lawyers examining every new building block. It's a far cry from those happy minifigures. Sometimes Lego's legal focus lands on their own fans. Enthusiasts making custom creations or running fan sites have received stern cease and desist letters. Suddenly, a fun hobby feels threatening. Lego has targeted fan sites, custom accessory makers, even artists. Trademark protection is important, but there's a line between protection and overreach. Sometimes Lego pole vaults over that line. The message: only certain kinds of creativity are welcome. If you're a small creator, would you risk it? Creativity gets stifled and the fan community shrinks, all because a giant corporation wants to control the narrative, especially if it doesn't profit them. Lego's invested heavily in China, a huge market and manufacturing hub. But doing business there means navigating complex politics and government expectations. Companies must comply with local laws, which can include censorship and data requests. How far does Lego's compliance go? What does it mean for their products and principles? There's speculation about self-censorship, avoiding certain themes to keep Beijing happy. Lego isn't transparent about these decisions, but the pressure is real. The Chinese government has leverage over companies relying on its market. It's a delicate dance. Lego's values, creativity, imagination, free expression, don't always align with operating in China. It's a contradiction many global brands face. They're building more than castles in China. They're building a complex relationship. Profits or principles? It's a question worth asking. Lego, it's a staple of childhood. But Lego isn't just a box of innocent bricks. It's a global corporate giant. Nostalgia is powerful, but it hides a lot. Exploited workers, labor practices that don't always align with the company's squeaky clean image, polluted oceans, the environmental impact of producing billions of plastic bricks each year, aggressive lawyers, protecting their intellectual property with a fervor that can sometimes stifle creativity, and geopolitical compromises. Lego is not all good, or all bad. It exists in a gray area. They spark creativity and inspire engineering feats. They've made some efforts towards sustainability, but it's a mixed bag, an interlocking bag of ethically ambiguous plastic. See them clearly, to understand the full scope of their impact, both positive and negative. Not all those choices are as wholesome as their marketing. The carefully crafted image often glosses over the less palatable realities. See the full picture, the factories, the supply chains, the environmental footprint. Those bricks build more than castles. They build dreams, fantasies, and entire worlds, but they also build a narrative. A story that is carefully constructed and presented to the public. Sometimes that image hides as much as it reveals. Next time you step on a Lego, remember, it's a universal experience. The pain isn't just physical. Even our most cherished icons, the symbols of our childhood, have a side they'd rather we didn't click together.